Hi, my name is Claddy, and today I think I want to test this palette out. This palette I think is from the brand Cheeryep. It's a Sea Beauty brand. I've had this one for a while, but every time I look at it, I kind of don't know what to do with it. This is the color story that we are working with today. It's very colorful. They are all shimmers though, so it's quite intimidating to me just to look at it and cannot see a clear directions of what I want to do because I don't know where to start with. Is there any map that I could start with? So I think today is a good chance to really get out of my comfort zone and focus on trying this palette out in the way that I didn't expect, and hopefully I can get a good look out of it because oh god, this shade just fell off and the whole pan landed on my lap. This is not a good start. I need to fix it. Ooh, oh god, I was able to manage to salvage it, but because of the mushy texture, like it feels very creamy and wet, that's why I think it doesn't stick to the pan. I think I don't want to waste it. I'll give you guys a little swatch of that eyeshadow. It's like a silver with blue, purple, and yellow ship to it. It has a bunch of sparkly particles. It looks very pretty. But yeah, I almost lost shade of the palette. I am not sure that we are heading to a good start. Anyway, I will play with this palette today. Hopefully it is not acting out ever again. And I was thinking if we could just quickly do a full face of Sea Beauty brands, because I think I have a lot of Sea Beauty products right now. I want to try out a Sea Beauty palette today, so it will be interesting to apply a full face of Sea Beauty and see maybe the overall aesthetics of Sea Beauty. How I don't think that I would try to attempt any Sea Beauty or like, you know, dojin makeup look, because yeah, that's another world. I'm not gonna attempt any of that today, but I just want to see if we use a full face of Sea Beauty, how the look will turn out basically. So yeah, let's get started with a concealer. This is pretty much the only complexion product that I got from a Sea Beauty brand. It's the Gogo Tails Soft Moist Pocket Concealer. It's a 3-in-1 concealer. You got a grey contour shade, I think. The second layer is like a yellow light beige color. It's pretty close to my skin tone, but there's a bit of a yellow undertone in it. It makes me think it could be a yellow corrector. And the last one is this almost peachy salmony color. I think this one will look more like a corrector. I think I will mix the salmon color corrector one with the warm tone yellow beige color and use it as my concealer. I find this shade is a bit too yellow and the shade is a bit too peachy to my skin tone to be used alone, so I think I'd rather mix them up and use them together as a neutral concealer shade on me. This pocket concealer doesn't have a lot of coverage. I have a lot lot of blemish today. Probably because I was walking out in the rain yesterday. Some of the bacteria did get on my skin. That's why it looks a bit blemished today. Mixing the two shades together, it gives me the correct undertone, but unfortunately the shade is a bit too light for me. Always, I wonder, should I mix in a little bit of the darker grey shade? But it might be a bit too ashy to mix it in. I don't know. I'll try the concoctions and see if I can apply it as a whole. I hope you can see, but like on this side I did mix in some of the darker contoury color, but yet it's still pretty light to my skin tone. I got this concealer a year ago and I've been trying to make it work for me. Like on the pan it doesn't look dark, but I'm not sure why when you blend it out it doesn't have a lot of actual skin tone pigment to it, and it turns into this like white pasty color. Every time I use it I have to go back with another concealer that's more closer to my skin tone, and because it's so light it doesn't help with my redness as well. I think it's because it's so pasty and in general very non-nuanced. It doesn't have the correct pigment to help with my redness as well, so I always have to go back with whatever concealer I feel like could help on that day. So yeah, this one, not really my favorite at all. Like I kind of want to get rid of it just because I think it's not really helping anything in any shape or form. The finish is very dewy, and dewy is not my type of ideal situations when it comes to dealing with the oil throughout the day, because I have oily skin. I should have known that when I heard soft moist, but you know, like soft moist, it could be like a soft matte kind of finish, and the shade doesn't work for me. And mind you, this is the shade Go2. They have two shades, 1 and 2, and this is already the darker shade. So I think it's really unfortunate that whatever the idea behind the two shade range like this, it's not meant for someone like me. And I have a very typical Southeast Asian skin tone. I don't think I'm the darkest and I don't think I'm the lightest among Southeast Asian populations, but I think I'm like mid of the road, pretty standard. And I don't think they make this product to suit standard Southeast Asian skin tone. Just my opinions, because if you might know, like in China they prefer to have lighter skin tone always, and I think that's why they make this product too light, so that when you apply to your skin it makes your skin brightened, but to the point that it doesn't match with any part of your skin at all. I think it's a bit, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining right now, because if the product is not for me, it's not for me. But I can see that this product is not for a lot of Asian people, and I don't know what it's trying to do. So yeah, it's a miss. I think I will declutter it soon. Something that's too hopeful about it is that I hope that I could find a use for the contour shade, but the contour shade is rather dewy. Like, why do you want a dewy and wet looking contour? And because of the unmatched shade and undertone, it always appears that I wear more because yeah, it's sticking out of my skin rather than blending into my skin. So that's why I have a thick layer of makeup just like floating on top of my skin and make it very distinctively separated from my neck. You can see like my neck has a lot of that yellow warm undertone that my pasty face right now does not have. So yeah, I'm going back with this Cancer Counseled Sporting Sunscreen Stick. This is tinted version. I've been using it as a concealer and it's quite phenomenal. It's a concealer and yeah, it's always helpful when my makeup looks so makeupy. Going back with this sunscreen stick, which has a thinner texture but has this kind of like thick waxy in a good way texture, really help pulling everything back together. It's kind of like a glue pulling everything back together. I have two options of powder. They are both blushes though, which is quite strange. This is the Leen Velvet Blush, but I have the shade 38 Parsley. It's basically a green powder like this, but it happened that this was released as a blush because it's within a blush range, but they have other color correcting powders as well. So like this is the green one, they have the purple, the pink and the blue ones. So yeah, I think it's definitely a color correcting powder. This one is technically a blush because you can see the color. Somehow it doesn't show up on my skin at all, like this color. It's supposed to be a muted toasted tea rose kind of shade, and I really like this kind of shade if it happened to show up on my skin, but unfortunately it doesn't. So I've been using it and I always load it up like this on my brush. It's very powdery. I hope you can see on my brush how light the shade is. It's basically like a pale peachy color. So I've been using it as a finishing powder out on the perimeter of my face. I won't necessarily use it to set my under eyes because it might be a bit ashy from the desaturated color itself, but I need to find a use for it because I would bum by the fact that it doesn't show up as a blush on my skin at all. I think I forgot to tell you this from the brand Flortte. Nice to meet you blush. It's in a gorgeous packaging. This is the shade number 9, Not Shy. It has like a floral with water ripple effect packaging, and it's 3-dimensional as well, which is very cool. It came with a keychain like this, so the whole unit is very, very adorable. That's why I got it, because it's adorable. It's a piece of art, but it doesn't work as a blush. Like you can tell, I'm using a lot of powder on my face, but doesn't look like there's any color or pigment at all. I'm so bummed. But this one is a good one. I have been using it so much to color correct my redness, especially around my nose, because that's where I have the most severe redness. And I would bring it under my eyes as well, because I think although it has a green undertone, it's not too much that it will look too obvious under my eyes. It's still translucent enough to help set my under eyes without being too detectable. It's a green color. So I really like using it just all over my face. this powder, so good. Have talked about it so much. If you see it and if you can buy it to whatever extent you can afford, I think it's worth it because it's about $6, $6 Australian a piece, I believe, and it's totally worth it. And check out the blushes as well because they have a massive range of blush shades that you could definitely find a shade that works for you. And for $6 Australian a piece like this, I think it's really good quality. I don't have any bronzer today because I don't think C Beauty brands, they really release any bronzer, but I am holding a highlighting and contouring palette. This is from the brand Judydoll. It has a lighter, cool-ish contour, and the bottom shade is a bit warmer, a bit rosier. I don't think that they are that different in shade. Okay, so number 2, the shade is a nose contour shade, and number 4, the shade is a face and cheek contour. That's what it said in the back. So I think I'm going to use this as my overall contour last bronzer just to see how cool tone it is, whether I have to go back again with a bronzer. But yeah, I think C Beauty brands, they don't really do bronzer because I think once again they're quite obsessed with your face being snatched and skinny. So yeah, they like all the contours that they can, but not bronzer because they like to be pale. They don't want that bronzy tanny look. I got compliments from my boyfriend when we first dated that I have beautiful tan skin, and I was shocked because it was never a good thing in Asia to have tan skin. But I had to remind him that it's not a tan, it's my real skin. I did not have a tan. I never have a tan in my life. This is my real Southeast Asian skin. In a way, I'm grateful that this contour shade is not too ashy. It has that rosy undertone that I talked about, and it does look relatively natural and bronzy on my skin without being too light or too grey. A little bit grey, like you can see it's quite strong, and it snatched my cheekbones a little bit, which I don't mind. Like I have tried contouring from time to time, but have never been a huge fan of it because it doesn't make a huge difference on my face shape. But yeah, this one is like a cooler tone bronzer in my collections, I could see. And I like the undertone. It has that rosy undertone. That's quite beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of nose contouring either, but I feel like because I'm holding this palette already, I feel like it's worth it just to, you know, like try that shade out a little bit. Yeah, okay, this shade is definitely ashier than the cheek contour shade. Maybe I've used a little bit too much. I honestly don't know what I'm doing when it comes to contour. So I'm just like doing whatever I feel like I should do to make the nose contour work. Yeah, just to follow the straight line of my nose and then, you know, blend it out. It's definitely a bit cool toned for my skin tone, but it's defining, and that's why it might work because how cool toned it is. It casts the shadows on my skin. I got quite a few blushes from other C Beauty brands that I could try out today, but I picked one because if you see it, you will know that it's more than enough. This is light powder cream blush from the brand Murmurmuse. The packaging is very cute. It's shaped like a cloud, and it has this like pearly mother pearl or something kind of finish, very slick, and it's a sliding opening mechanism. It reminds me of the Lila B compact packaging. I don't think it is a sturdy and heavy weighted like that one, but it's definitely a beautiful packaging. I got the shade CO2. It's a deep mahogany reddish brown kind of color, and this is just my favorite shade to wear right now, like a deep brown with a bit of a berry rosy red undertone. So yeah, I'm gonna try this blush today and try to use a little bit at first because it does look quite pigmented. Okay, it doesn't get picked up that well with a brush. I only have synthetic brushes on my collections because I'm not at that tax bracket yet to buy natural bristle brushes, but so far it doesn't look like it's very powdery. And for the name light powder cream blush, I would expect a cream to powder kind of finish. And so far it has this like drier matte cream finish, so this cream texture is not dewy or like balmy. It's more on the powdery drier side of a cream texture if I had to describe it. So I'm gonna tap it out with a light hand first. Okay, I think I admired it for the fact that it's not too pigmented. It was a bit intimidating on the pen, but it's quite true to the color on the pen itself, but it's not too much. So it's kind of my ideal situations. I want a blush that has the color on the skin to be true to the color that I see online or the color that I see in the packaging, but I don't want all of this pigment to be transferred to my skin right away. I kind of like this mutability quality of it. It's quite matte. It doesn't have any glow or shine to it, which is in and of itself a good quality for a brush. If you have oily skin like me, you can control the shininess of your skin when applying a product like this. I think it is very beautiful though. I like the color. It's very grungy but still healthy and bruisey, just the way that I like my blush. And to be honest, I am comfortable over applying this blush knowing that it's very beautiful and easy to control, like controllable, is that the word? I think overall C Beauty blushes really impress me. Like previously I mentioned the Velvet Powder blushes from Leen. I think it's one of my favorite because they have tons and tons of shades that I can choose from. The Velvety Powder formula is great as well. I have 3 blushes from this brand. It's called Moon Eyes. It's affordable as well, and this matte powder blush formula is pretty similar to this one for the Beautability and the Velvety powder to cream or cream to powder kind of finish. Very pigmented if you build it up, but if you use a light hand and you share it out, it's very natural. I also have these two blushes from Red Chambers as well. They are desaturated, muted, but have a rather wet cream formula that would stay a bit dewy and glowing on your skin. I would say if you like me and you prefer over apply your blush a little bit, you want to achieve this kind of like cool girl aesthetic with a lot of blushes, you want to drag the bruisey reddish blush across your nose, I think these three, let me open it again, the Red Chamber in the shade, man, it's a Chinese word, it's in Mandarin or something, it's Tengwei maybe, and this are the 01 from Moon Eyes, and especially CO2 from Murmurmuse. Oh, look at these three, they are my favorite. They are the intimidating blush color that appear to be very, very easy to work with, and that's what I like. I like a challenge, but I want a challenge to reward me a little bit early. Like, I don't want to try too hard, and see beauty blushes, like, don't sleep on them. And I think it's time for us to start thinking what we're gonna do with this palette. I genuinely don't know what I should do. I just broke what I would think one of the most neutral shades in this palette. I kind of don't want to touch it again because this will give me fear that I'll break it again. I think, I don't know, I bought this palette because the texture is so fascinating. It has like 5 different textures that I could see right now on the pan, and the color story is so outrageous and just fun and unique. But I really don't know what I should do with this palette. Maybe I shouldn't have bought it to begin with because it's so colorful and it's just not me. I like a neutral, like a brown or mauve eyeshadow palette. But okay, let's start with something familiar. That's what I always do. If starting with something new like this is quite intimidating, let's start with something that's more wired to my brain. Let's start with some matte. I'm using the Flortte liquid eyeshadow in the shade M04. It's a warm taupey cream eyeshadow that I really enjoy. It's just an easy step. I do it every single time. Right now when I do my eyeshadow, always start with a cream neutral eyeshadow as a base, and this one is one of my go-tos. So yeah, I'll just start with it and set up the base for the makeup look. It serves as a eye primer as well. I think it leaves a little bit of a tacky feeling on my lids afterwards, and it does help the powder eyeshadow to stick on a bit more. It always started out to be a bit dry, like it had that very kind of like waxy feeling, but when you blend it, it's so easy. So yeah, I think it's quite common with cream eyeshadow to appear to be a bit too waxy and too dry. Some of them are actually dry, but don't be scared to try one out and try to blend it. It might be pretty similar to this one. It's dry because all the pigment loaded in the formula itself, but then if you blend it and kind of like buff it into your crease, it would look quite natural. And normally I would just leave it like that. This is me at the moment. I won't do anything more. I will pick up maybe this darker brown shade, I don't know. I might use this as an eyeliner. This is also the Flortte. Nice to meet you. It is from the same collection as this one. The name of the collection is Nice to Meet You. This is palette number 5. I think I'll pick up this rosy brown and use it to secondarily deepen the crease. So I think because I pick a warm directions, now when I look into that palette, I would know that I should go for a warm tone shimmers. That's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm trying to give myself less options so that I don't go crazy when I look at that palette again, because that palette is very intense. I am quite interested in using this lime green shade. However, I said that because I'm having like a warm crease at the moment, I should go for something warm toned. This kind of like mosaic pink and green is quite interesting. I actually have my eye on this kind of like multi-chrome shade with like green and blue shift. So I can use all of them, but I'm not gonna do it because that's gonna be a bit much. I will go for the lime green shade. This is such a funky color. Oh, the formula is very, very creamy. Like when I press the brush on the pen, it makes it dent. Like it creates like a dip in the pen right away, just like a cream would do, which is quite interesting. I don't have any like true sparkly cream eyeshadow like that, so yeah, it's be interesting. It's already very interesting. It's already very interesting on my lips right now. Wow. Okay, it's a bit patchy. I think it's because of the like texture scatter formula, and I am picking up with a small brush. That's why it's quite uneven. But yeah, it's interesting. I will pick it up with my finger. And when you pick it up with your finger, it becomes quite smooth. And I don't know if I like it to be like this smooth and metallic versus being a bit scatter and sparkly when the coverage is a bit lower. Wow. I'm a bit scared. That looks a bit strong. Okay, it does look a bit patchy even with my finger application. Okay, but that lime green is very intense. I will apply it with my finger, the same on this eye. In a way, I prefer the finger applications because it does feel like you can control the opacity of the eyeshadow. Like when I tap it out, it shears out and looks a bit more even. Like I think I put too much eyeshadow on this side. I think I need to find a way to take it off if I can do it. I don't think the rosy brown crease really works with this lime green shimmer, so I pull out this palette. This is the Rust palette from Meld for the Rescue. Inside the palette you find these like grungy, mustardy brown shades that would help blend the crease and the shimmer is better, so I think I'll pick up the shade Rubbish. It's very pigmented, so I'll make sure that I'll just use a little bit of it. And just trying to, yeah, it already looked a bit better. It has a lot of fallout. I think because it's creamy, but the glitter itself is not that adhesive to the creamy base, so you would expect all the glitters and the sparkle to fall out. I don't know, like I have a lot of fallout right now under my eyes. I might as well use other shades in this palette because it's a try-on. So I'm dipping into this very vibrant peacocky green blue shifty shade and see how it's gonna look under my eye. So I'm gonna use that shade to kind of like highlight under my lower lash. It's not that flattering under my lashes, I have to admit, because I couldn't put it too close to my actual waterline because it's very watery and sensitive, so I can only place it under my lashes, and I don't think it's that flattering. That's why I always use matte for my lower lash, because that's the only texture that would work. So yeah, so it's not really a success putting that blue green shade under my waterline. Okay, I think that's all I want to do for this side. I will use the shade Rubbish for this side, and then we will go back with some lippies because I think I'm taking this eye look too far and I need to be more safe with my decisions from now on. I think I did a pretty good job fixing the look. I also went back to this palette for the charcoal brown shade, doing a little bit of an eyeliner. Like, it's barely detectable, but I like doing just a bit of a little line along my lash line just to enhance the look a little bit. And I've used more of that Rubbish mustardy brown shades from the Rust palette to blend everything out. So I think I managed to save the look, but it was pretty messy and intense for how much fallout there is under my eyes. I had to use, once again, the green color correcting powder just to dust it away. I think this palette overall it's beautiful. I think it has insanely interesting textures, but it's not usable at my level at the moment. So I think I bought a palette for the fantasy version of myself again, because I look at all the beautiful, artistic, colorful, intricate makeup looks that people have created from this palette and from the brand Cheeryep itself, and I was like, oh, I can be that cool, I can be that aesthetic. But because I got myself too comfortable working with brown eyeshadows these days, I forgot that it takes a lot of work to create a colorful look with these more finicky formulas, and the color story is very intimidating to me. I was thinking that I could just use one shimmers and carry on with the rest of the look as neutral as I can be, but there is a certain requirement for the look to be colorful enough to make it cohesive to even one of the shimmers in this palette, and I think I misunderstood it. So I think this palette is still gorgeous, like it's beautiful to look at, but to get myself use it, I don't think it would be hard. Like it's gonna be a challenge, but I hope that I could get around and use that one shade in the palette and then make the rest of the look work. I would recommend starting with your eyelid first, which I have never done really, because I never had trouble with fallout. But yeah, with this kind of like very glittery eyeshadows, I think that's what I've seen people do with these Cheeryep's palettes. They started off with the eyeshadow first, and I think that that's smart because you can get rid of the fallout and then you have other products on top to conceal it. Anyway, I also used this eyebrow pencil from the brand Flortte as well. So it's from the same collection, the Nice to Meet You collections. I think, yeah, they did some pretty good job with this collection. For the packaging, I think it's quite cute. It had this like pink cartridge in the middle. The tip is very interesting. It's a flat but very thin and sharp tip, but it's, you know, like flat and angled, so it's quite quick to work with on my eyebrows. The formula is nothing really worth remembering. It's a standard eyebrow pencil. It has that pretty much standard waxy kind of like thick texture of an eyebrow pencil. It's definitely quite long lasting. It's not runny and soft. I like the shade. I think I picked up one of the grayish brown shade, or like a dark brown shade, which definitely a gray match to my eyebrow hair. But it's an eyebrow pencil. There's only so much that you could talk and hype about an eyebrow pencil. I think it's quite good. Is it as impressive and reliable as my Caradium eyebrow pencil? Not really, because it does take a little bit more effort. That round tip is a bit larger and it would be even quicker to fill in the eyebrows. This one, because it's thin, it's definitely slower, and I don't need that thin, flat, angular shape to flick in any hair strokes. It's just not my kind of method of applying my eyebrow. So I think it's good for the price, good for the shade, good for the idea behind the product itself. It's just not gonna be my favorite eyebrow pencil. Let's apply something that I really enjoy. This is from the brand Flortte as well. I have tried so many products from Flortte, and I would say it is my favorite sea beauty brand so far, for just the mere fact that I have tried a lot more products from this brand. I think this is the lip liner. What's the name of the lip liner? Like, it's a Cute Thing Supermarket on here, but I think it's just the packaging. I don't remember the name of this lip liner, but it's a soft contouring lip liner. I have talked about this product. I said that it's very similar. It came out way before than the Rode Beauty lip shape, so take it as you will. It's definitely way more affordable than the lip shape, and I don't think that the quality is that much different from each other. So this is not a defining lip liner, it's a lip contour that's supposed to be a defining tool for your lip, that you could go a bit undone, a bit messy around your lips. It's supposed to make your lips look a bit poundy as it creates some shadow around your lips. I think I just really like the smudgy, effortless lip look these days. That's why I really enjoy just to apply this and then blend it using my finger. And it does look, the lip lines around my actual lips a bit blurry, and that's why it hides some of the overly pigmented area around my lips and give it like a natural color. And I like the way that it blends my natural lip color to my skin tone, because I have high contrast when it comes to my skin tone and my pigmented lip color. And having a light brown shade like this running softly and naturally and elegantly around my lips make the contrast a bit lower and everything looks a bit well blended together. So yeah, that's my holy grail, you can tell. And I will apply a glossy lip product, also from the brand Flortte. This is the, do I have a name for it here? Yeah, no, it's all Chinese characters. Anyway, it's a click pen kind of mechanism. I did click it out a little bit. With this one, you cannot retrieve it back if you click it out too much. So yeah, just be careful. I'm not sure what collection that this one is from. With C Beauty brands, they have a lot of collabs and collections that might have the same product that is just released within different collections, and yeah, they have different shades as well. I will leave it down below, because if I go back to the link that I bought this product from, I would know the shade and the name of the lipstick. So right now it's a click pen, kind of like lip gloss in a stick like this. And yeah, actually this is the first time that I tried it, so wish me luck. It smells quite good though. It smells like sweet candy. And man, I wish I had used this sooner, because it's very beautiful. The texture is thin, it feels like a lip oil, very comfortable, and the color is sheer, but the undertone, like the nudie warm brown undertone, is very pretty. It pairs very well with this Florette lip liner. I think they are made together, and it's shiny, it's comfortable, it's thin, it has a little bit of a nudie color that's quite flattering on my skin tone. It's not ashy, and the fact that it's sheer helps with the color as well, so it's not too strong and too pigmented. I really like this combo. Like, I think this is my favorite lip combo so far with this Florette lip liner, like lip contouring liner, because it's sheer and then you pair it with a sheer gloss as well. Yeah, I think this looks very good. And it was a ride with the eyeshadow palette. Like, it took me quite long to fix it compared to how long it took me to have the eye look done. So I think it's definitely a difficult situation, and I do want to give it a little bit more time and put in my effort to really see how this palette is worth it, because it's very beautiful. I think that's it. I think that's everyone that I want to apply on my face. It's not quite a C Beauty aesthetic look. I think I adapted to my makeup days and I make it my versions, but I think I try all of them out. I got you through my thoughts and reviews on so many of them, and I hope it's helpful if you have your eyes on any of these products, or you just want to try C Beauty out in general. There are some really high quality products at a very affordable price point. So if you have a chance and you have the resources to check it out, I would highly recommend it. Once again, I'm Cloudy, and hopefully we see each other again. Bye.